welcome to Confusing Genetics. My name is Nandita Balaji and today we will be discussing about Tay-Sachs disease. Tay-Sachs disease is a
Breaking news. This is Shreya Singh reporting on a serious health problem. The disease no-energitis is a rare genetic disorder which is affecting many more children now than it did 10 years ago. This disease affects your ATP hydrolysis. Let's turn it over to Divya. Do we have to turn it over to Divya? I mean, is this necessary? Fine. Let's turn it over to Divya John for a deeper explanation of ATP hydrolysis.
Why don't you with Shreya of all people? I mean, come on. Oh, I'm on air. This is Divya John reporting live from the White House, where the world leaders have come to discuss this rare disease. This ATP hydrolysis is basically the primary method that the body uses to chemically release energy to muscles and other systems in order to sustain life. ATP is converted to adenosine diphosphate, also known as ADP, by the loss of the phosphoanhydrous group at the end of the compound, resulting in a release of chemical energy and heat. If you take a look at this picture of hydrolysis, you can see that 7.3 kilocalories of energy is released when ATP is hydrolyzed.
So Divya, if energy is supposed to be released through hydrolysis, someone who has no energitis cannot release this energy, correct? Then what will happen?
You're absolutely correct, Shreya. Well, that's the first. Energy will not be released. Now, here's where the problem lies. If energy is not released, the muscle will not contract. And without contraction, there will be no movement.
Jeez, I am so much smarter than her. I mean, so how does contraction for a normal person work? Let's turn it over to news reporter Nandita Balaji for more information.
muscles contract in a repeated pattern of binding and releasing between the thin and thick strands of the sarcomere, which is somewhat like a cell membrane. The ATP adenosine triphosphate first binds with the myosin, which is a thick strand of the sarcomere, and it hydrolyzes to produce ADP, adenosine diphosphate, and inorganic phosphates by the enzyme ATPase. ATP hydrolysis changes the angle of the myosin head, which allows it to bind to actin if the sites are available.
So what triggers the muscle contraction cycle?
Muscle contraction cycle is triggered by calcium ions binding to troponin, exposing the active sites on the actin. Myosin head bridges the gap, forming a cross bridge. The attached myosin head pivots towards the center of the sarcomere, and ATP and phosphate groups are released. The cross bridge is detached when the myosin head binds another ATP molecule. The detached myosin head is reactivated as it splits the ATP and captures the released energy. These events are what causes the muscles to contract. So think about it. One of the main functions of the muscular system is movement. Therefore, if there's no movement, we humans cannot function. Okay, so to get back on track, how does no-energitis affect the muscle contraction cycle? Let's pass it back to Shreya.
No-energitis greatly affects the muscle contraction cycle because, as mentioned before, the disease does not allow ATP to hydrolyze. If the human body cannot hydrolyze ATP, then the myosin head will be unable to move into position and actin will stay attached to the myosin instead of moving on. Ultimately, this means that the muscle will not be able to contract because myosin was unable to perform its job.
Oh, you mean like you?
What is that supposed to mean? And weren't you in front of the White House? Where did you come from?
Come on, Shreya. I got here because I'm amazing.
You're not amazing.
Please.
I mean, we
Guys,
all know
you're
that
still
I'm
on air.
amazing.
No.
Yeah, we all know that I'm amazing.
No, that's not happening. No.
Well, that's it for this episode of No Energitis.
No.
Stay tuned for more episodes of Confusing Genetics.
What are you saying? No.
Would someone just break for a commercial already?